This was wild. We're going to talk about the rules of closing because there's a guy that works at Planet Fitness, right? The story goes, some dude shows up at Planet Fitness 45 minutes before closing. So you got to keep that in mind. You never want to be the guy that shows up as the establishment's closing, whatever it is, clothing store, restaurant,
I have
whatever.
all the rules written down right here.
Right? Start thinking about that. But this guy shows up 45 minutes before closing, and the guy that works at Planet Fitness is not having it.
Take a listen to this clown.
We close the gym at 9:15 because we need 45 minutes to clean the gym. No, every single Friday I close that door at 9:15. If you come here, no, you don't have to call him.
I'm entitled to be here.
And I'm entitled to close my gym so I can clean it because I work here.
It's not your gym,
yes,
dude.
it is. It's not yours.
I pay for it.
All right, so go to another one. You can go to as many gyms as you want.
Yeah, you definitely aren't gonna.
I don't care how much you want to bet. Get out my gym, bro.
Yo, this kid
This
is
big
mad.
story on Wall Star right now.
This kid's mad because the gym is still open for 45 minutes and he doesn't want any new customers. So I wrote this down. I wrote down the rules of closing. Let me give you what I consider some of the top rules of closing. And I want to get the phones going, as you always say, the most interactive show here on Fox Sports Radio.
No, I always say, shake it oh. That's what I say.
Scott Farrell.
Light 'em up.
Scott Farrell says
Yeah, that
Light
wasn't
it
me.
oh. That's what I say.
So the rules of closing, you have to be considerate and, as they say, read the situation, read the room. If you go to the supermarket and they close Ralph's or ShopRite or wherever you go at 10 p.m., you can't go in there at 9:55 and expect to go through the whole store. Oh, I'm getting my meats for the week and my breads and my
you
vegetables.
can't be moseying.
Yeah. If you go to, let's say, the pharmacy, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, and you need children's Tylenol because your kid has getting a little sick.
That's an in and out sort of thing.
If it's 9:58 and you tell the person at the register, like, it's right there, I'm going to run and grab it, thank you so much, that's okay.
You have to do the universal in and out signal. In and out.
Listen,
in
I'm
and out.
in and out.
In and out.
Sorry. If you go to a restaurant that closes, kitchen closes at 9:30, I don't think you could sit down after 9 p.m. I think if you sit down at 9, maybe 5 after, 10 after, I know they got
They're closing at 9:30.
I know they got to clean up and the kitchen's got to close, but I don't think you could be ordering entrees when they say the kitchen closes like in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I
I think
Needs
you
to
got
be
till
a
like
half hour.
9:10, I think.
Yeah.
yeah, and you got to give them 20 to 30 minutes. I think
Because they're still going to be there.
I'll give you one that my buddy used to have a major problem with. My friend growing up.
But
worked
hold
at,
on. I gotta interject here because you did say read the room. Sometimes you'll go to an establishment and they're closing in about a half hour and they're like, no, it's okay. If they're like, it's okay, we still have a few, it's okay, and you believe that they're not mad about it, then I think you could do it.
I've seen people be like, listen,
Right.
I'm here till 11 o'clock no matter
it's
what.
good.
So
don't worry about it.
Whatever.
If it's that sort of thing, then I think you sit down.
My buddy, do you remember, I don't think they are around anymore. Do you guys remember TCBY?
Oh, of course.
Was it the country's best yogurt? Remember the
Yes,
OG
yeah.
frozen yogurt? My buddy used to throw a fit like a little baby bee when someone would come in 5 minutes before closing and be like, could I get a milkshake? Because he had already washed the machines. So in my mind, if you go to an ice cream spot, I don't think
But maybe your buddy's a little too ambitious trying to get out of TCBY sooner than he should have.
I think ice cream shops, because they got to clean those like milkshake machines and the blenders. I think.
Can they just put one scoop on a sugar cone for you, though, Rich?
I think that's okay
All
because
right.
you're just
so it's a milkshake issue.
I think it's a milkshake. I think
Everybody knows the frustration, though. Whatever store you ever worked in, if you ever worked in retail or at a restaurant or whatever, you've experienced this before, and it's aggravating. So, you don't want to put anyone else in that aggravating situation. But I don't think that's what's going on here. You're going to tell me the guy couldn't get a nice half-hour workout in? The gym had 45 minutes
Thank
left
you.
before closing.
Yeah.
And I understand, again, like I said, I understand the aggravation. I used to work at a clothes store. I worked at Bennigan's. I've worked at a bunch of different stupid places. But I would work at a clothes store, and it was like clockwork. Friday night, you're trying to get out. We used to have a nickname for this guy. Some guy would come in just for his like Friday night outfit. And like, oh, we're closing. This guy's trying on jeans. And we used to call him Mr. Butt because he had like an oddly fat ass. Like it was weird, right? It was like there was a guy.
Mr. Butt.
This guy was like rocking the cakes. You're like, what is
Mr.
this?
Butt
We said,
again.
I'm like, and we would say, oh, this Mr. Butt is here again. It was ridiculous.
I
Sitting
thought
there
you-
trying on Levi's. We gotta go. It's Friday night.
I thought you were going to call him like Last Minute Larry or something, but it's Mr. Butt.
Mr. Butt, dude, and everyone knew like Mr. Butt. This guy, I can't believe
Real
this guy.
butthead.
He comes in here just to try jeans on every Friday night. We're closing in 10 minutes. And then
the 33, the 34s are nice, but they're a little tight on my buttocks.
swear to God, dude, there's people till this day that I worked with. I remember Mr. Butt. And
You mean
and what
48s,
happens,
Rich?
When you work at a clothes store, it's different for every. You mentioned the ice cream machine.
Yeah.
They just start rummaging through the jeans. And you got to refold them and the shirts, and they just start making a mess after you just cleaned it all up. Mr. Butt would be there like clockwork. Like, this guy, why does he wait last minute? Some people don't understand like the code of ethics involved of, yo, dude, we're closing. Like, you got to get there a little earlier. You mentioned the Tylenol. That's an emergency exception.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a major difference there. Don't be that guy. And I don't think that's what was happening in this very viral story we speak of right now. What I think is this kid was trying to get out, and he misrepresented Planet Fitness.
That's the key word. He's trying to get out. If you work at somewhere where it has hours of operation,
Set
and
hours.
and it closes at a certain time, you should not have the expectation that you are leaving when the place closes.
Right.
If you're the employee, there has to be time where you're closed and you're cleaning and after that.
I think we're seeing a generational problem, which is that right there. Up, clock hit 5. I'm out.
Like you're trying to get ahead of things,
Right.
but it's like
and it's like, yo, man,
you're
it's your
also
job.
open
Chill
still.
out. And
Yeah.
then this kid misrepresenting a major company, cursing at a customer. It's like no one takes that pride in their work anymore. And I know it's a tired argument, but I think that's what's going on in this situation. You go to your gym, and they're not closing for another 45 minutes. You got a nice little 25-minute, 30-minute pump in. And that's what was going on. I'm not listening to some kid, some young-ass pimple-neck dweeb telling me to go. I'd be like, get out of here. Beat it. You pay a membership.
Cove, in our group chat, when we were all looking at this video, the first comment Brenda made was, you know what? She said, I noticed this with a lot of younger employees now. They think that we're lucky that they're waiting on us because nobody else wants their job nowadays. So they feel like they can treat customers however they want to because nobody else wants their job.
Yeah. And by the way, the gym, Danny, how many times has anyone been to a gym where, let's say they do close at 10. At 9 o'clock, they'll come on the thing and be like, we have 1 hour left, so, if you need to take a shower or act accordingly, they'll give you an hour, half hour, 15-minute. Most gyms, I know New York Sports Club that did that in New York, 24-hour across the street, I know gives you the little heads up.
I think that there's such a balance, though, as well, to make it work. If you show up at 9:15 and they're mopping around the treadmills, guess what? I'm probably not going to get a run in tonight.
Yeah.
But if it's a problem like saying, hey, after a while, maybe you say something to the manager of, hey, I get off work at 9. This is the only time I can get a run in.
Yeah.
Can you do whatever? But I do think I completely agree with the person who has the membership, not the worker in this situation. But if you do see people cleaning up and doing stuff in a certain area, maybe you just don't do that exercise.
Agreed.
At that point.
There's a balance of, hey, I'm a customer versus there's a code of just not being an a-hole, really. Like, you don't want to be the person that's like, oh, you're closing the kitchen at 10 p.m. It's 9:59. Let me take a look at the appetizers. Like, you don't want to be that guy either,
What about when you're lined up for a business and they don't tell you that the one person is the last one? So it's a long line. Like you see this a lot during the holidays. I stood outside one of those Pandora stores for those overpriced charms for my girl, and there was probably 10 of us in line. They got to like the third person because they closed their doors, so the line is right out the door. And right at 10 p.m., the lady came out and said, oh, I'm sorry, this person's the last one. All of us had been waiting for over a half hour.
You got to indicate where the end of the line is.
Thank you.
You know where this happens a lot? Theme parks. Like if your kids want to take a picture with Goofy or Captain America or whatever park you're at, they'll be like, all right, and you'll be the last person. And they have someone stand there, unfortunately, telling other people like, yeah, this is the end. Oh, that's a pain in the butt, Danny, huh?
The post office does this well. You just get in the door. If you're in the door and they're closing, they pretty much close the door and they'll let people out. But you got to just be in the door because if you try to get in after
post
that,
office, what are you, 80 years old? What are you doing? What are you mailing?
Because the post office has weird hours like banks do. right? Like they don't actually cater to people who are like regular customers.
true.
I
That
agree
is
to that
Right.
wholeheartedly.
Like they're like, we're going to close at 5:30. Well, people are getting off work at 5:30. Right? Like the bank is like, we're only going to be open for like an hour and a half on a Saturday. Like what good does that serve anyone?
Banks should open at noon.
Yeah.
Like truly,
Yeah.
close at 7 p.m.
Noon to 8.
But this
Yeah.
particular story, again, that went viral today from Planet Fitness, I think just exemplifies a growing and bigger problem that we all witness. And that's, again, the lack of courtesy with younger employees, the fact that they don't respect the customer, the fact that they don't care about the hours or staying even a minute longer than they have to. And it's a real problem. And I sympathize with the guy because I can't imagine for the life of me some young punk talking to me that way because he wants to get out when I'm trying to get a workout in. Just put yourself in that situation, guys, for a minute.
I get mad when a young person tells me to do something, even when I'm wrong.
That's what I mean.
I brought a big Starbucks coffee into the movie theater, and the kid goes, "You can't bring outside drinks in." I said, "That's cute," and I just kept walking.
Yeah, look, and I get it.
I was wrong,
But
but
and we're coming from a place of we get it. Everybody wants to get home and wrap the day up, and we've been there before. But 45 minutes before the gym closes, that's the story as we know it.
And much like that 100 men versus a gorilla, don't be surprised if you see this goes a little more viral over the weekend because I keep seeing it pop up. Viral gym guy. Take one more listen, then we'll take some feedback.
We close the gym at 9:15 because we need 45 minutes to clean the gym. Every single Friday I close that door at 9:15. If you come here, no, you don't have to call him.
I'm entitled to be here.
And I'm entitled to close my gym so I can clean it because I work
not your
here.
gym,
Yes,
dude.
it is. It's not yours.
I pay for it.
All right, so go to another one. You can go to as many gyms as you want.
Yeah, you definitely don't
I don't care how much you want to bet. Get out my gym, bro.
Yo, bro.
And they like escorts him out like aggressively. And it's not like a big intimidating kid. It's just really just
But this is the problem. You can hear it in the first like couple sentences. He's like, I close my gym at 9:15. But he's saying that he likes to start cleaning up at 9:15. The gym is not closed for another 45 minutes.
exactly.
Yeah, that's why it's viral. Bubba in Reading, you're on with Covino and Rich. Hey, Bubba.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, man.
So, that guy's trash. You guys are completely nail on the head. I work at a restaurant. It's 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
That's the cutoff for me.
And by
yeah,
the
I'm
way,
happy-
and Bubba, we're pretty right on as far as like also be courteous. Like you're not going to start ordering 5-course meals when the kitchen's about to close, right? I mean that's also you got to be.
Can I get a bottle of wine with that? Can you open that for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you guys.
Yep, you the man.
Yeah, you never want to keep people there extremely longer than they have to. You got to be respectful, but the respect goes both ways here, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're losing as the customer in today's society. I don't want to sound like the grumpy old guy, but we're all seeing it.